Another look at my railway with a bit more detail than the previous video. Here in the corner we have a forest scene, and then here there is a gap, but hanging down here is a lift out bridge. It should lift out very easily, and one end slots in there. He says bravely, the other end slots in there, and there it is. Well, that's all you have to do. Here we have the farmyard, and of course underneath the farmyard is a tunnel. If we have a problem under the tunnel, in the tunnel I suppose I should say, then we have to remove the farmyard. Now all the buildings except one are stuck down, but this one here lifts up, there's a handle. The whole farmyard can be lifted off and access underneath the tunnel is done. Move along a little bit to the river scene. Now the picture of the bridge I got from somewhere, I'm not quite sure where, and I photoshopped it around a little bit, made a few alterations to it, and then stuck it on the wall. And I noticed on the picture that in this area here there's a footpath. And so what I did, I made a little footpath here, making it look as if it goes through and joins the footpath at the back there. Now, move on a little bit. All the buildings on the layout are in modules. They can be lifted up, moved around to work on. And they can be put out of the way when you want to have a look at something else. And here we've got 5 buildings, low relief buildings. They're actually from the range that you get off the internet. And I've completely forgotten the name of them, but I'll remember that later on. And they're quite difficult but tricky to make because and time consuming. You have to find your own acetate, you have to find your own cardboard, you take the pictures, the printed parts off the internet, print them out, stick them on the cardboard, and then you have to cut out all the window frames and put them on the acetate and put them all together. It takes a lot of work, but they come up really good, and of course, as opposed to the Metcalfe buildings, you can make as many as you like. After I'd made those few, I decided I didn't want to make them anymore. This bare area here is not very wide, so I modified these Metcalfe shops to fit in, and I made a module of my own with some of my own things. There's a toilet there, a scratch-built toilet. Then there's a Metcalfe fountain where some people are paddling in the water. It must be a hot day. And then there's a Metcalfe hut there, which is the tobacconists. And then I scratch-built a couple of huts myself with some seats, and made them all scratch-built. And then we have the children's playground, which finishes off the job. Now that whole module can be picked up, with a bit of luck, picked up, turned around, and can be put into place. And then our shops be picked up, turned around, and put into place. And here we are. Now, anytime I want to work on those things, I can just take them off and work on them. There's a section of buildings there. They are Metcalfe buildings that I've actually added a bit on the back because they're Metcalfe low relief, and I wanted a little bit more than low relief, so I added scratch built some bits onto the back, used a bit of scratch that I had left over, and did the whole thing. Over in the back there, buildings of Market Square, super quick buildings. They're a little bit smaller in scale, so they do end up okay in the distance. And you've got more Metcalfe buildings along this area here, We have the church, the churchyard, and the vicar doing his garden. Bit of a raid on at the pub. If we come back this way, we're not going to look at the engine shed and the goods area because they've got a lot of work to be done over there. And here we have a couple of buildings that are Metcalfe buildings, and then further back here we have some scale scenes, which of course was the name I was trying to think of for those buildings over the other side. More Metcalfe buildings. I find the Metcalfe buildings very easy and interesting to put together. Buses are buses that models of buses that I drove back in the 1970s and 60s. And then we have some more Metcalfe buildings along here. That one there is a Super Quick station with the Metcalfe. As I have two-track tail chaser layout, the station has 4 platforms. At the moment I only have 4 engines that work, and so therefore that fits in nicely. When I've got all my engines working, then I have a couple over in the engine shed. The back scene is just photos that I've taken off the internet, and I've photoshopped them a bit and filled around with them a bit to give us a back scene. And then we have the Railway Hotel, which is another Super Quick building. Scout hut, which was made out of a Metcalfe and Princeton hut, and a hut that was, I think, was in farm sets, along with the trailer and the scouts. And that's about a more in-depth look at my layout. And there we have. Thank you for visiting Sheraton. Hope you enjoyed looking at a more in-depth view of my layout. But wait, there's more. I use a Hornby controller, which I find quite easy to use once you get the hang of it. And it's very easy for those who haven't used one. You allocate a number to each engine. I've allocated this engine here as number 2. Press number 2, select it, turn the speed control, and number 2 dashes off. Over on the other track, I've got engine that's allocated number 6, so press number 6, select it, and with luck, number 6 will go. I use some of the points are digitally controlled, if I can say that properly, digitally controlled, and all you have to do for that is to select your points, allocate it, press the appropriate button, hear the click as it changes, press the button, allocate it, hear the click as it changes, and we can now set number 1 engine going from over far side, which is the old trusty Mallard that I remember cabbing at Peterborough North Station back in about 1960, I suppose it would have been. basically another look at my model railway. I'm not a great modeler, but I enjoy what I'm doing with it, and I thank you for visiting Shelton.